What's going on, YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry, Crypto Vet. Thank you for tuning back in. Lots of things still going on in the markets. We've had some crazy ups and some crazy downs for different cryptos and stocks. So if you like the content, hit the like, hit the subscribe. This content, just like in my videos, promotes all cryptos in general. So I do appreciate everybody. Everybody who was in the Twitch stream last night and started the hype train. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. But for today, we're just going to kind of get some updates on the markets, get an update on Bitcoin. It's kind of at a crucial point right now, and within the next day, I do believe that we are going to see some movement, and this movement could be very, very critical to crypto and cause a huge plunge down, or we could continue our stalemate sideways, but that would be better for altcoins and other things like that. So let's go ahead and get started here. If we go over to CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin right now is at 30,496. Ethereum hasn't come back up to all-time highs. We'll go over where we think Ethereum is going to go over here at the moment. Polkadot is still at the number 4 spot, taking over XRP. It's at 15 bucks. It is down 10%, and XRP is looking like it actually may start to go down to some lower supports before it ever does test those upper resistances here. We go ahead and look at what the biggest gainers are here. We have Phantom, Swissborg, Alpha Finance, Uniswap doing very, very good. Looking like it may set another all-time high today. It is up to $14 to congrats to everybody who got Uni for free in the airdrop. And as far as the biggest losers go, we have Theta and a couple other ones, Engine. But things like CeeLo and all that, they might be down 10%, but they're up 30% on the 7-day here. So let's go ahead and head over to Bitcoin. So here on Bitcoin, I have 4-hour chart pulled up, and we have this descending resistance here that we have not been able to get over since we hit the all-time high at around $42,000 here. Right after we hit 42, we did have a massive dump to the downside where we created and confirmed that we have support right around the $30,000 point. We call it right 35, which is where we're actually trading at right now. We had a nice little pump back up to the outside where we now confirmed this down sloping resistance that we're in. Okay, came back up, tested it again. And then as we continued on, we actually didn't come all the way up to test this one again. We almost created a new down trending resistance line, right? So we're just going to leave that there for now just to kind of help build this pattern and that we're seeing and the potentials of whether the probability is higher to go up or the probability is higher to go down, right? So let's change the color of this one to something that's kind of matching our stance, right? So now, when we were within this pattern, we've had other patterns arise. We've had the most common ones that everyone recognizes and remembers. We've had head and shoulder patterns. So right here, we had a left shoulder, guy out of the way. We had a head, and then we had either potentially a right shoulder or, a combined right shoulder, because within this right shoulder we had a left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. Okay, so everyone knows that the head and shoulder pattern is more of a bearish one. If you didn't know, so now the head and shoulder pattern shows that we have increase in buy pressure, come down for a retest, a higher buy pressure that comes up, but then when it comes back down, it doesn't bounce as much as it should have to continue on for just standard up, 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 up. It actually only comes back up to wherever the left shoulder was, showing that the sellers actually have more control than the buyers, and thus the pattern will reverse and go to the downside. So in this pattern, we had a head and shoulders with a head and shoulders within shoulders. So looking at this, we could go and just estimate what we think the head to the neckline is, and the neckline for this right shoulder, which is the head and shoulders within the pattern here, was roughly around here. And we can tell because we have a retest confirmation of support turned resistance here, and we have lots and lots of confirmations of this. So from this break to the downside of the neckline, we can see that we confirmed this right shoulder, and this head and shoulders pattern did validate, and the price target was met right down to this flat line of support that we have here. All right, so we know that the patterns we're following are indeed being confirmed and that the bearish tendencies are being played out. All right, so now that we have this idea, this pattern is forming within this very, very large descending triangle. A descending triangle has a higher probability to go to the downside. So we're looking at more of like a 60 to 65% chance that we will break this lower support here and continue the downside. This isn't the best thing for Bitcoin, right? I know everybody's wanting Bitcoin to go up and go to the moon, but this break to the downside is actually healthier, in my opinion, for Bitcoin and its longevity to go to even higher prices. If we were to break out of this triangle here and continue to the upside, it's not that it would be a bad thing. It's just that we could potentially see that big red candle that everybody is fearing in the future, when we could just get it out of the way now for healthy market support, right? So if we're in this descending triangle, we didn't actually have the confirmation of this trend line here. We created a new one, sharpening this descending triangle. And by sharpening, I mean just cut down the amount of time it's going to take before a breakout occurs. So we have until probably around February 2nd-ish before we would be out of this pattern. So we're looking at the next 3 or 4 days. We'll most likely break out of this triangle if we can hold this flat line of support. Problem is, on this flat line of support, we have broken through it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and almost potentially 6, or sorry, 7 times, because one back here. So we're testing it for the 7th time. I think of these different bars kind of like a video game. They're health bars. The more times you touch or you attack a certain line, there's a higher chance that that one isn't going to hold, right? You're piecing away its health. It could have, say, 100 health, and every hit's 10 points, right? Once you run out of health, breaks. Now, this is a very simplified analogy for the trend lines, but that's how I like to think of them. So that makes the percentage of going down higher than up. So if we look at the upper resistance here, we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 tests of it. So we haven't tested the upward line as much as we've tested the downward support line. So we're waiting here to see if this is going to break. So right now it is at a very crucial point. It is trying to find support here. We could get a nice little bounce, come up, actually confirm this line as support instead of resistance, and then there's a chance that we could break to the upside. A chance of breaking to the upside. The first target is going to put us right around $50,000, and then a full measured move of this whole pattern that is a continuation pattern going to the upside would put us closer to 60K. But since the most likely outcome of this point would be a break to the downside, we can do it in 2 different ways. We have in this part here another head and shoulders pattern. So if we were to just break from this short-term pattern, and this is on the 4-hour, this could put us close to around $25,000, $26,000. But that's not how far down I think we would go if we did break to the downside. This is going to be a much bigger dump, but I don't think it would fully play out. I don't think we're going to get all the way down to around 18,000. I think we have a lot of support around the $23,000, $24,000 range, specifically just because of this weekly exponential moving average. So if we just did a fib retracement from the top here down to, say, the bottom of this rally back there, the point of control is right at 23,168. The 20 weekly exponential moving average is coming up to touch that point of control, and then we also have the 0.26 right at this area. And if we extend this out, and I was to draw a horizontal line array right here, this would be a very, very strong place of support because it was a strong place of resistance in the path. So if we do break this descending triangle, I would definitely say $23,500 to $24,000 would be a very, very good place for a buy-in, as long as you expect 20 weekly exponential to hold like I do. So kind of see how this plays out, and I hope that answers a couple of questions in the Discord about where and how I'm kind of getting ideas of where this pattern will break out and come through as far as Bitcoin. For Ethereum here, we are in just this little ascending channel here, and you can draw this a couple different ways, but within this ascending channel, we are struggling to get above this top line here, right? This is all-time highs for Ethereum. If we were to just draw a downward sloping trend line here, we did break out of this line, and we are holding it as support, and we do have the 20 daily exponential moving average here. A break below the daily exponential moving average or this lower port of the ascending channel, I said I would expect that we may potentially see lower prices, especially if Bitcoin decides to go lower, I think that we will probably end up hitting close to the $800-900 range on Ethereum, which again would be right around here at the 0.236 because of drop in Bitcoin. Most likely carry Ethereum with it at the beginning, so it may not hold down here like Bitcoin would. We could see a nice wick to the upside, but just looking at the fib here, we are bouncing in between the 0.618 as well as the 786 at this point. Just gonna have to see if Ethereum can hold here. Lots more transactions on Ethereum, lots of new wallet addresses. There's a lot of money being pushed around on Ethereum, especially when you have things like Uniswap going up to $40, and we can go ahead and take just a quick look at that. Uniswap is where a lot of transactions for Ethereum are occurring. Besides, DeFi projects where money is being locked in smart contracts, most people are going on uniswap.org and getting all of these DeFi tokens. And this is pushing up the amount of money that is put on Uniswap. And then people are also buying the Uniswap token because they are expecting it to go up, and some are actually buying it for the governance. So right now we are close to $15, and it's hard to say. It's hard to say where Uniswap could actually go, but right now with hype and this being a speculative asset, we don't know what the top would be. Personally, I think it could go a lot higher, which is why I'm holding my Uniswap. But it's free money, so be sure to take profits if you're looking to get into other projects. As far as XRP goes here, we're still within this accumulation phase. We did break this trend line of support, and we are now confirming to see if it is resistance. But we do have a lot of good support right below it, right here around 25 cents. So I do see XRP following the market at this point until there's better news, like around February 22nd, when the news may potentially come out. So we could be bouncing back down to the around 20-cent range, 20-21 cent range, where I think we will find some bounce, stay within here, and then get back above this trend line here. And once we get above this trend line, which will probably be beginning of February, we may actually see a bounce up to 37 and continue back up within these zones of support and resistance. I don't think we will get above the 37-cent range until much closer to the 22nd, where people will speculate whether or not SEC is good news or bad news, and then that will start to drive price in one direction or the other. So I will be going over this more on stream after I finish this video. So if you are, please sure to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/cryptovet, and I can answer your questions and go over with you. But one last thing is GameStop has been on the mind here, because look at this crazy thing. GameStop was, $4, $3 a share just a month ago, and it is now over $300. In after hours last night, I was on stream with a couple of the peeps, and I mean, it just went crazy. So if you were in GameStop, congratulations. I was not, so I didn't make this. This is some XRP movement right here, $4 to 300. Crazy time. So that's gonna do it for this video today, guys.